So going into two of us are in agreement. There's one who isn't. Tom, why don't you take that away as to why you have who you have at number 2?
So in the number 2 slot to the Los Angeles Kings, I have Tim Stützle. Now, a lot of people have Quinton Byfield. And although I can agree with that, and a lot of what you're buying with him is promise and hype of actually living up to his, he could challenge Lafreniere for the number 1 spot in this draft, which he clearly hasn't. I think LA goes with Stützle over Byfield more because he is the winger, Byfield is the center, and although Byfield, Kopitar would be really nice down the middle, they have a lot of other center prospects that are projecting to that 2-3 slot, and I just think Tim Stützle's he uses his size better than Byfield does. Byfield almost bullies other kids playing on Sudbury to like, this is my ice, I am here because I am big and better than you. Stützle plays against men with Mannheim in the German league as like against men. He has learned to compete at a higher level than Byfield, and he's shown that he can go into corners, do all the work, go into dirty areas, but he's also has the speed. He also has the ability to win those one-on-one battles, get pucks to his teammates, take them back from his teammates, and shoot and score, and do everything the whole ice really well. Whereas Quinton Byfield hasn't really shown that. It's more the promise that's there, which is why I have him going third to Ottawa, and I think they could really use Byfield as their bona fide number 1 center, which I really do believe he will be. Just
with Brady Tkachuk and
with Tkachuk on his wing, Colin White, throw him on first line, wing, second line, center, whatever you want to do with Colin White, and then figure out how to fill in the other 17 roster spots you have open. But
we'll get into it. Like, I have Quinton Byfield at number 2, along with Thomas. My reasoning is it's pretty simple. I think Byfield is that good. I don't think people have necessarily put enough respect towards Quinton Byfield. I think a lot of people watched his World Junior and thought, this kid's a bum, whatever. I don't think I know we all probably think this. The World Juniors is not a good way to evaluate a prospect.
Not at all.
No.
Because it's such a small sample size on such a large scale. Imagine you had watched Connor McDavid and Max Domi play in the 2015 World Juniors. I remember my uncle said, screw this McDavid kid. This Domi guy is where it's at. And you know what I mean?
He was always listen to your uncle. Always listen to your uncle. I always know what's best.
I don't think the World Juniors is a good way to evaluate. I mean, if you had watched imagine, because Alexis Lafreniere is a late birthday, he would have gone number 1 easily if he had gone in last year's draft. He would have been over Hughes.
Yes. I think even you have an argument for Byfield and Stützle as well, challenging for that.
100%. But what I was going to get to is that if you would watch Alexis Lafreniere play at the 2019 World Juniors, you would have thought, or the 2018 World Juniors, you would have thought, this kid's nothing. Which is why I think a lot of people are down on Byfield, is just because they watched the World Juniors.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what happened too was Stützle just all of a sudden crept up, and
yeah,
people went Byfield. I don't buy into this hype, and then people overbought the Stützle hype, and that's
it's very Nico Hischier very, very similar.
Yeah, right? But also, where's Nolan Patrick now? Injuries.
Yeah, no. I'm not putting down Nico Hischier. I love Nico Hischier. I freaking love him. You guys know. But what I'll get to with Byfield, I don't know. I think he should be talked about more in the range of Lafreniere than he should be dropping, because I don't know, the speed, the size, the hands, the skill, he can figure out the physical game. And I know you said he's a big man that plays a small game. He can figure that out. I think,
he's going to have to.
Luckily enough, he has Anze Kopitar there.
Oh, exactly, right? The thing is, he's 17 years old, or he's probably 18 now. This is a guy that when he figures that part of that game out, he's going to be a monster. And I think you're going to be looking at Byfield as a guy, why didn't they talk about him in the Ranger Lafreniere? It may not happen, but I would be very surprised if it didn't. And I think if you're the Kings, you can't pass up the chance to get a potential number one center when Anze Kopitar leaves. Because I know you said the Kings have a lot of 2-3 guys. They don't have a number one guy. Velarde's very good. Is it Turcotte?
Yes.
It's Turcotte. Yeah, I keep getting him mixed up with the other guy who went to the Ducks.
Zegras?
Yes, Zegras, that's the guy. I always get them two mixed up. But you got Turcotte. You got, those guys. Are any of them really going to be number one centers? I don't know. I don't think so. Byfield is very much that guy. And if we haven't learned anything over the past 5-10 years, what do you need in the NHL to win a Stanley Cup? That's a number one center. The Kings know it. They had Kopitar through both of their runs. So I don't know. I got Byfield at 2, and I know Thomas, you have Byfield at 2 as well.
Yeah, I also have Byfield. Just what Russo said. I mean, what bigger center do you want to learn from than Anze Kopitar if you want to learn a big game? He's literally one of the best exemplary of that. The big center, two-way, and that's a perfect guy to learn from if Quinton Byfield goes to the Kings. So, yeah, I think you just can't pass up on that opportunity to get that centerman in that slot.
No. Then we have Stützle at 3. And this wasn't putting down Stützle. I've watched him play the World Juniors, and that's really all I've watched of him. But just going by all the reports and everything I've read about him, he's going to be a player for sure. And I think the Sens, if they get him at 3, it's a scary kind of thing that they're going to have. Because if I'm not mistaken, he can play center as well.